Hello everybody, welcome to my kitchen and welcome to Hello Ramadan 2021 with Have Halal Will Travel. So it's just a couple more days to Raya and everyone is gearing up their stomachs and their taste buds to indulge in all of the beautiful cuisines that we usually eat during Raya. I'm sure you are too. Okay, you're probably wondering what we are doing today. So I am here in my kitchen. I am missing, really missing Hong Kong food. And why not this Raya we try something different? Why not this year we try some delicacies that are special to Hong Kong? Things like dim sum, as a suggestion. Things like milk tea maybe. So that's exactly what we are doing today. And what makes dim sum different in Hong Kong versus dim sum say in Malaysia or Singapore? It really boils down to the ingredients. A lot of the times when we inherit or we migrate different cuisines into our countries, we will put in a little twist that's kind of localized, you know. So traditionally in Hong Kong you will find this beautiful array of smells that are very Hong Kong smells, but then sometimes when you go past say a dim sum shop in Malaysia, you suddenly smell dim sum but you also smell a little bit of curry, for instance. But today I'm going to share with you very special two very special dim sum dishes that I've been eating ever since I was a little wee kid, and I also like to cook this with my family and loved ones, and I really hope that you guys can try this recipe at home. Okay, enough of me talking, so let's get cooking. So the first one we are going to cook is my very own chicken bao, and we're making the barbecue chicken bao. Okay, super simple to put together, just takes a little bit of time, but hey, it's Raya, you have all your family around you, get them all to help you out, okay? And the second recipe we are making is we're making chicken Siew Mai. Super special. This is, whenever I eat chicken Siew Mai, it always reminds me of all the travels that I had in Hong Kong. So this is extremely special for this occasion, especially during the festivities. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make our pao dough, our bao dough. Depending on where you are, in Malaysia we call it pao, in Hong Kong they call it bao. Sounds the same, taste is good, so let's get started. So here I have 300 grams of pao flour. If you can't find pao flour wherever you are, you can use cake flour, just as good. So we need 300 grams of that. To this, I'm going to add in 9 grams of baking powder. So this helps kind of like lift everything up, gives it that airy kind of sensation and feeling. And I've got my stand mixer here, which makes it a lot easier. But if you don't have this, you might need to knead it for about 10 minutes. This does the job for you, okay? I'm gonna add in my dry ingredients straight in. Woo, dusty. And then here I have a little cup. I'm going to add in some warm water. Yes, it's warm. Warm water, about 150 ml of warm water. Okay, and to that we're going to add in our sugar. Okay, sugar goes in. Give that a mix until everything is diluted. And this is going to activate the yeast. And I'm using instant quick yeast because we don't have much time. It's a live show, so we've got to get cooking, we've got to get cracking really quickly. Okay, so once it's kind of diluted, we can add in the yeast. Okay, just give that a quick mix. We close this, add this in, and then just turn it on slow. Also going to add in some oil, about 2 tablespoons of oil. Ta-da! And then once it's kind of combined, you just want to put it up on high speed for a good 2 minutes. I'm going to line my bowl with a little bit of oil, okay? Because we want to let our dough kind of rest here for about an hour. So after about a couple minutes, the dough is nice and smooth and it's really come together, and you've got your bowl lined with a little bit of oil. So you just want to remove this dough. Should be a little bit sticky, that's fine. Just place it straight into your bowl here. Okay, and you want to let that kind of sit and rise for about an hour. So you just want to cover this with a towel and leave it behind to proof for an hour. While we're waiting for that to proof, here I have to make the marinade for our barbecue chicken. So traditionally in Hong Kong they use char siu, which is pork, but we're making the halal version, which is what I grew up eating. And here I have about 350 grams of chicken thighs, and I've removed the skin, but I've left some of the fat on. Very important because that gives a lot of flavor and you get all that crispiness. So to this, I'm going to add in some hoisin sauce, about 4 tablespoons. If you have char siu sauce, you can use that as well. It has a little bit of a pink or red tint, but today I'm just going to use hoisin sauce because it's easier to find. Next, we're going to add in some light soy sauce, some Chinese 5-spice powder, very, very important, some white pepper as well, some oyster sauce, we're also going to add in some brown sugar, about 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons depending on how sweet you like it. Okay, and then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to pound some garlic and some ginger, so about 1 inch of ginger and some garlic as well. Okay, so just roughly kind of chop everything up so it's easier when you pound it. And traditionally, you know, you want to marinate this overnight, but if you don't have time, you can do it, you know, just for a couple of hours. Put that into your pestle mortar and just pound it slightly until it all becomes a paste. My god, the smell of the hoisin sauce really reminds me of home. Really reminds me of all the travels. I remember the first time I ate a steamed bao, and my mom used to say, because my mom and my dad both worked in the airline industry, so they used to lay over, or like every time they went to the US or, you know, anywhere else, they would always lay over in Hong Kong. They always used to say how much they love traveling there. Okay, so once it's become kind of a fine paste, you're gonna add that into your marinade. Give that a mix. Woo! So once it's been marinating for about a couple of hours, you want to put it on a baking tray. I like to put it on a grill and let it cook in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. And then for the last 2 minutes, you want to put it on the grill so it becomes that beautiful charred caramelized top, which is what makes this really flavorful. So because this is live, I already pre-cooked my barbecue chicken. And look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So it's really nice and juicy because we used thigh, and as you can see, there's a lot of this beautiful caramelization and burnt bits, which really makes it super flavorful. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to cut this up into small pieces. And a lot of the times you can actually add in some red food coloring to make it look a little bit more legit, but I feel that you don't need to, because this just looks delicious and it smells absolutely amazing. Oh my god, my mouth is watering. Okay, so you just want to roughly chop this all up into kind of bite-sized pieces. I don't like it too fine because I like, you know, the filling of my bao to have a little bit of a bite to it. So you're all probably wondering, you know, what made me choose to pick these two recipes. Only because in my family we absolutely love this. I remember as a kid we used to always eat this in the morning. I'm sure a lot of kids in Hong Kong do the same as well. It's very wholesome, it's very delicious, so that's why I chose these two recipes. Okay, put that away. I've got myself a pan here, so I'm just going to turn this on. And what we want to do is we want to saute some onion and some garlic. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of oil in there. I'm going to add in, okay, so 1 whole white onion, which I've diced. And then we're also going to add in 2 cloves of garlic, which I've chopped. Now we just want to cook this down until it's nice and soft. Now I've also reserved some of that extra marinade sauce from the chicken and just added maybe about 2 tablespoons of water just to kind of dilute it a little bit. Now you want to cook the onions down until they become soft and translucent. This is just going to add in a lot more flavor to our filling. Oh, it smells so good. Something about onions in the pan. Yummy. Super duper yummy. Okay. So while that's kind of softening up, I want to show you what my bao dough looks like after an hour of proofing. It hardly even fits in the box. So let's just release it. And that's why it's so important to oil it. Okay, you just want to kind of like press it down, and it's really like the yeast and everything has really done its job. Okay, so I'm just gonna press it down and just kind of like let it chill for a bit. Say like, relax, we're coming to you soon. Okay, check on your onions. Oh, it's starting to get a little bit of color, which is great. So now we want to go in and add in our chicken and also that excess marinade. Okay, so once everything kind of comes together and your sauce becomes really thick, you just want to kind of let that chill, let it cool down, because you need your filling to be really cool before you start kind of making your bao. So I'm just gonna wipe my surface here a little bit. Okay, hands are nice and clean. Just dust your work surface Okay, and then you just want to put your dough on top, dust it a little bit more. Don't worry too much about it. We're just going to knead it a little bit, and just make sure that when the texture of it has to be really nice and soft, like almost like a pillow. Okay, I'm just going to knead it a little bit with my hands. Just fold and knead, fold and knead. Just want to reactivate all of that beautiful gluten in it. This is such a fun process. Okay. Again, a little bit more dusting so it doesn't stick. And what I like to do is I like to roll it out. And fold it in half and then roll it again. It's a really springy kind of dough. It's better if you use a bigger rolling pin, but I don't have one. Actually, I do somewhere in this house. I have a lot of kitchenware and kitchen equipment, but I kind of like this one. And I'll show you, I'll tell you why in a minute, okay? And then you fold it again, and you want to do this because it creates that beautiful layers. So I find a lot of similarities cooking Asian food. So when we do curry pap, which is also like a pao but a Malaysian version or a Singaporean version or a Bruneian version, or Indonesia also has it, we do the same, where we fold the flour in so that you get the really nice rings. Okay, and then one last fold. Okay, and then we're just going to roll this up the same size all down the way, and then I'm going to cut it, just kind of mark it with my knife in half, and we want to have equal parts of dough. So depending on how big you want your pao to be, we can actually do 16 or 8, so it's really up to you. So I'm going to do 16. So, and as you can see here, you can see the rings. Just takes a little bit more time, but it's so worth it. Special bit for Raya, you know. So again, just dust, and if you don't want it to dry out, just get yourself a clean kitchen towel, like so, which is yum. Okay, so then get yourself one piece, okay, small rolling pin, and what you want to do is you want to kind of like roll it out to the sides. Make sure that the sides are thin, but the middle stays a little bit thicker, okay? And just try and get a perfect circle. Like I said, this is homemade, doesn't need to be perfect. I'm rolling with one hand and I'm stretching it with the other. Get yourself a spoon, and then you want to put in that filling right in the middle. About 1 tablespoon is plenty. So here comes the tricky part, where you have to fold and pinch, fold and pinch, fold and pinch, fold and pinch, and then just keep folding and pinching, using your thumb to push the meat in. There you go. First bao. Now we have to do 16 more. Once your bao has been done, just hide it underneath, close it so it doesn't dry out. Okay, and you just continue doing that. Stretch and pinch, stretch and pinch, stretch and pinch, stretch and pinch. Woo! Stretch and pinch, stretch and pinch, stretch and pinch, stretch and pinch, and then you just pinch the top. put it down, piece of onion there, roll it, and there you have it. And you can always save this and do it later, but put it in the fridge. Don't put it outside because the yeast is going to continue kind of like developing, and you don't want the yeast to develop too much. So maximum you can keep the dough is maybe about 6 hours, okay? But make sure you put it in the fridge to slow down the process of it proofing. When my grandmother makes it, it's so perfect. When I make it, it doesn't look like a circle at all. But it's okay. It's all about the taste and reminiscing about your travels. God, I miss traveling. Can't wait for the borders to open up so I can go and visit places like Hong Kong again. Okay. In goes in filling. Perfection. Okay, so let's move on to our second recipe, which is chicken Siew Mai. Well, these babies, we will put them in our steamer later and steam it together with the Siew Mai. Okay? So our baos are looking really plump, and sometimes they open up. Then that's normal. It's okay. Just give it a little pinch and just swirl it. It happens, but it's going to open up a little bit, which makes it really homemade. So don't worry about that. Okay? Get yourself a really nice big wok. I'm going to start it kind of bubbling away, and here I have my bamboo steamer because it's legit to do that, just to have one. And what I've done is I've lined it with a little bit of parchment paper or wax paper because I don't want my bao or my Siew Mai to stick. Okay, so then gently lift up your baos. Don't put them too close together because they are going to puff up. And then you want to let this steam away for about 12 minutes. Ooh. Okay. So while that's steaming away, we can move on to our second recipe, which is a chicken Siew Mai. Okay, so here I have some minced chicken. If you can't find minced chicken anywhere, you can just blitz it into your food processor until it becomes minced. I like to use the thigh because it's got a little bit of fat in it, super duper important. And then we also have some prawns. So here I have some lovely river prawns, which are super juicy. What my grandmother taught me is, for prawns, always add in a little bit of sugar because it helps kind of plump it up. Okay, and I'm just going to mix it with my hands a little bit, like so. Okay, then on my chopping board, we're just going to roughly mince this. You can hear how crunchy they are. Okay, so you want to get the best kind of freshest, juiciest prawns you can get your hands on. And then we're just going to roughly just chop this up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, you can use your food processor for this, or you can do it the old school way, which is chopping it up. Now, you're all probably wondering, what other dishes am I going to be eating and feasting on this Raya? Well, traditionally in my family, the first day of Raya is all the traditional food. We start off with lontong and rendang and kuah kacang and lemang and all that, ketupat and all that. By the second day, we're usually up for something different. So usually we'll go for Chinese food, we'll go for dim sum. So this is really me sharing a little bit about my Raya traditions with you guys. Okay? So you just want to roughly chop this, not too fine, but if you want it really fine, you can as well. And then you add that straight into your bowl of minced chicken. Okay? So this portioning is quite a lot, only because, you know, you can't have just one or two. Everybody needs to have at least 6 to 8, in my case 10, maybe 12. Okay, and then we're also going to, everything's going into the same bowl, so I'm just going to roughly slice out my spring onions here. Add that all in. And then here I have some grated carrots as well. So I grated some earlier, but I'm just going to show you how to grate it. If you don't have a grater, you can just cut it up really small, which is great. One whole carrot, a medium-sized carrot. Give that a bit of a mix. Next, you want to add in some chopped up garlic. About 2 cloves of garlic goes in. Some sesame oil, toasty sesame oil, so delicious. Some white pepper, oyster sauce, lots of flavor, umami-ness. We're also going to crack in 1 egg. Yum. I'm going to season this with a little bit of sugar and salt. So salt goes in. A little bit of sugar to balance out the saltiness of our oyster sauce. And then you're just going to mix this all together until it's combined. Also going to add in some corn flour just to kind of help bind everything together. Then smell it. Oh, it smells so good. You can smell the garlic, you can smell the spring onions and the toasty sesame oil. Super duper delicious. Okay, so your filling is done. Now, and here I have my wonton skins. You can get this in any Asian grocer. I like to use the ones that are, you can get the biggest ones. So when I went this morning, literally the only thing that they had was this round one. So if you can't get the round one, get the square one. It's totally fine. Okay, so you want to take a little bit of that filling, quite a generous amount. Okay, place it right in the middle. And what you want to do is you want to kind of prop it up like so. Squeeze it. Now get yourself a spoon to kind of just help it. That's it. That's basically your Siew Mai. It's a very large dumpling because look, we're at home. We're doing this for our loved ones. We're not at the dim sum shop. It's supposed to be homemade. It's supposed to remind you of all your travels to Hong Kong. But at the same time, it has to be familiar. So here are my extra large chicken Siew Mai. So we're just going to make a couple more. This is steaming away. Just remember, 12 minutes and counting. And then if it's easier, you can actually just put it straight on your work surface and then just pinch. And it's so pretty because you can see the carrot, you can see the spring onion. Perfection. Now continue doing this. It's like a little bit like a therapy session. Feels really nice, you know, when you're making this with your family and loved ones. There you go. Let's have a look at this and see how it's going. Woo! Look, I told you it will open up, and that's completely fine because you can see what's inside. So we got some pretty ones and not so pretty ones. That's okay. So that needs to cook for another, I think, maybe 4 minutes or so. So we'll continue doing these. Once they're nicely steamed up, we can add our chicken Siew Mai in. This is like the perfect alternative for little snacks or entrees if you like. Or, you know, if you say you're so busy for Ramadan sometimes, or for Raya, right? And you just want a snack in the morning when you're trying to get everyone ready, you're trying to get your rendang ready and everything, and you just need to eat something before you sit down with the rest of the family. This is perfect. And the best thing about this recipe, especially the Siew Mai, you can make it like so. You can make it like so, and then you can actually put this on a baking tray and freeze it And once it becomes really hard, you can put it in a Ziploc bag or a container, and then on the day off, just put it in your steamer, cook it for about 5 minutes, and your Siew Mai is ready. Perfect. It's been about 12 minutes. Oh, smells so good, looks so good. Okay, some of them are not perfect, but that's okay. It's home cooking, it's live cooking. So as you can see, some of them have opened up, but that's fine because at least you know what's inside. So you just want to pick them up, put them on a nice plate like this. Perfection, guys. Look at that homemade barbecue chicken paos. Success! Okay, next we're gonna add in our beautiful Siew Mai, chicken Siew Mai that goes in. So these cook for about 4 to 5 minutes, and the minute you see, so a trick is I like to put one prawn on the top. So the minute that turns bright orange, you know it's cooked, okay? So just make sure that you prop up one prawn at the top so you can see it, and that we cover, let that cook away for about 4 to 5 minutes. We'll check on it in a little bit. Let us know what are your family traditions and celebrations during Raya. I've shared with you what mine are. We would love to hear from you. And of course, don't forget to check the rest of our Hello Ramadan 2021 festivities with Have Halal Will Travel, and let us know your stories about Hong Kong, and when are you going to go visit the minute the borders open. What are you going to eat? What are you going to go and check out? You know, I can't wait to go and visit Hong Kong again. I really can't wait. I can't wait to try the dim sum. I can't wait to drink the milk tea. I can't wait to have cha cha thing. I can't wait to have it all. So I'm super excited and looking forward to celebrating, you know, life again and travel again. Oh my god, guys, I miss it so much. I really miss even the smell of aeroplanes. Is that weird? And aeroplane food, I miss that. So we're just gonna make a few more of these. This has been steaming away for about 4 minutes. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Okay, one of it's kind of like splattered out. But again, hey, it's homemade. Don't stress too much, okay? So the prawn, as you can see, it's already nice and golden, like this orange golden color. So we know it's definitely cooked. So we just want to lift it, put it straight into the bowl. I can see all that beautiful juices. Oh, looks amazing. And guys, this is perfection on a plate. Okay. And what is a perfect Hong Kong style dishes for Raya without Hong Kong milk tea? Okay, Hong Kong milk tea is absolutely delicious. It's creamy, it's luscious. They use evaporated milk. That's what makes it super special. And Hong Kong tea, if you don't know, it's also called pantyhose tea. A bit of history there, because last time they used to brew it really long, and the kind of like the thing that they strain the tea in looks a bit like pantyhose. So that's just a little bit of a side story. So anyways, so Hong Kong milk tea with our chicken Siew Mai and our barbecue chicken bao, all handmade by me live on Have Halal Will Travel. Thank you so much to Hong Kong Tourism for having us. Thank you so much to Have Halal Will Travel. Now we are in the virtual festivities of Hello Ramadan 2021. To find out more about all the other activities that are going on, we have lucky draw, prizes to be won, different kind of shows. Head to www.helloramadan.com. Check out, must see, go have a look, check out all the other events that are happening. And here's me, Ili Sulaiman, signing off from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Thank you for watching. Selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir dan batin. Bye!